All right, welcome back to another episode of Releasing the Genius, where we interview extraordinary people and we find out how did they get there. So today's guest is one of the Citizens Foundation's co-founders, Mr. Chhapra, and he has played a key role in nurturing a number of prominent nonprofit organizations. He serves on the boards of Patients Age Foundation and the Kidney Center as well. He is a Skoll winner and a Sitar Imtiaz holder of Pakistan. He is well-known personalities in the country's business circles. While he was manufacturing concerns in Pakistan, he is a
philanthropist.
Philanthropist. I'm sorry, today I'm just catching my tongue. At heart, and is involved with many charities in the areas of health, food security, and art. He also serves as the honorary consul general for the Nepalese embassy in Karachi. His project, the Citizens Foundation, was selected as one of the 6 WISE Awards winners in 2010. TCF is one of the largest nonprofit organizations in Pakistan in the field of education. Economists perhaps call TCF the largest privately schooled running organization in the world. TCF is also the largest female employer outside the public sector, having 12,000 plus female teachers employed. Since it was founded in 1995 from 5 schools, now it has run a professionally managed network of 1,652 purpose-built schools in the poorest rural areas and most neglected urban slums of Pakistan, having 266,000 most needy children studying in TCF schools. Its mission is to promote mass-scale quality education at the primary and secondary levels in an environment that encourages intellectual, moral, and spiritual growth.
Wow. This is quite an honor to have you here today, and thank you so much. I'm sure that many people will be thrilled to hear what you have to say. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
We believe that to release the genius in this world, you must start with releasing the genius in individuals. And when the genius is released in individuals, then they can release it in communities. And when the genius of a community is released, well, then the genius of a country and the world can be realized. And you are an individual who has not only released their own genius, but released it in so many other people. What we feel is so important is that you have been able to not only create, I'm going to talk about TCS first because you've done so many things, but this TCF is incredible because so many people start with an idea, a social idea to help out in their community. And the majority of these initiatives, social initiatives, either just stay very small or they die very quickly. And this is all over the world, this happens. Yet you have been able to help this grow and sustain it. Can you please talk a little bit about the sustainability and how you were able to make it grow and then keep it at this level that it is? 266,000 children in 61 districts all over Pakistan, 18,000 people working in it. How are you doing it?
Thank you very much for inviting me, Kim. I would like to start here by admitting that this is not, I'm sitting here in front of you as a genius maybe, but the story of TCF starts about 25 years ago when five friends decided that they wanted to do something on a large scale to change lives of a few 100,000 families at best. And but like you very correctly said, that a lot of good intentions, good ideas, they remain either small or they do not take off, as so to say. Mm-hmm. However, what we did was that we said that we would do something on a national scale, which means that it won't be restricted to some urban center or a town or a village, but it will be spread to the length and breadth of Pakistan. And this would be a system which would be changing the lives of people. And we said that it was an audacious target when we said that we would go into education, when we decided that. And I would like to also say why education. You see, in the third world and the part of world where I live, education is a very it's almost a luxury. You know, every child does not have the access to quality education, and hence they are deprived of that basic right. We said that education is the root cause of any ill in a society. Pick out anything: intolerance, pick out family planning, pick out health. 50% of health problems come from hygiene. So we picked the element in a society which can change a lot of social ills of ours. So that was the turning point in our lives, and we said that we're going to do something. And the audacious target was that we would be building initially 1,000 schools in every village, every slum of Pakistan. And we would pick up the children from the street, those kids who are selling newspapers, flowers. We have seen them all over in Latin America, in Africa, in South Asia, and pick them up and put them into school because that is where they should be. And that idea was so successful that starting with those 5 schools in Karachi, Karachi being the most busy part of Pakistan, being the commerce and the industrial town of Pakistan, we started from the 5 slums of Karachi. And like you just said, that now it has developed beyond the 1,000 in 25 years. So my advice to my friends all over the world is nothing is impossible. You have to start off with a clear intent, but think everything through. Do not leave, even the smallest problem should be addressed in the beginning. And that's what we did. That it should be an organization which should have transparency. It should be an organization which should have professionally managed organization. It should be an organization which will look after training of the teachers. Every small detail was worked out. So the intent has to be clear, but every situation, every point has to be addressed, and the success lies within that whole network with the work you do. I hope I've managed to sort of encompass or answer what you wanted me to.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I got from you then is that belief first, which is really important, right? And all 5 of you, was there 5 or 6 people who started? 5 people? Yes. 5 of you, you all had the same vision and you all put your time into this too. And you were able to connect people and get people to work with you. How did you do that?
When people ask me what is our biggest challenge, money has not been the biggest challenge. The government has not been the challenge. You know, these are very important elements of anything. In our part of the world, the governments are more of a hurdle, more of a problem than help. But the biggest challenge is people. You see, because this has become an organization which is working for the people and it's by the people. And we need to have the most intelligent young ladies, because as we know, we are working with a lot of women. The teachers are women, the trainers are women. So there is a whole spectrum of intelligent young and middle-aged girls who are working for us, who are teaching these children. We have got the best possible. And why do we get these people? Because there is an inherent desire to do that change. The vision of the founders is carried over by the people who work for the organization. There is a buy-in from those people, and it's an incredible, they come at very moderate salaries with a passion, with a burning desire to do something good, to change the scenario of a country like Pakistan. So this is now, I forgot one point, which is the sustainability part. You see, the foundations or the work Citizen Foundation is doing is a very noble, because when you pick up children from the streets, it's never easy to nurture them, teach them, train them into being good citizens, good up with moral and spiritual growth, upbringing, because in their homes they have nothing. Their parents are away earning a livelihood which is right from her, and these children are neglected. They are roaming around on the streets of the slums without any attention. So there is an extraordinary effort which has to go in by the teachers and the principal and the other staff. So financially, it is not a sustaining model. I want to be very clear with that, because we are charging a very small percentage of our fees, because these people cannot afford. Like I said, it's a luxury. So we get hardly 10% as fees from these households. The 90% is all being collected through donations from Pakistanis within Pakistan and overseas Pakistanis all over the world, in the USA, in the UK, Canada, Australia, and UK, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all over. We've got about 10 to 15 chapters all over the world, which are propagating, which are creating awareness and collecting money for the cause.
Well, that's good to know. I just wanted to paint a little bit of a picture here too for people who haven't been to Pakistan or who have never been to a country and seen what's happening with the children. I've worked with Islamabad. I don't know if you're aware of that or familiar with them in Lahore, and working with the education and helping out there. And the children, normally, if they don't have the education, they're actually out on the streets, like you say, because what else do they do? And they need to help their families. They need to, and they're picking up the garbage for recycling and so on. But when you work with these kids and when you're sitting down with them and you're interacting with them, boy, they're quick. And they can learn quickly. Many people sort of have this idea that, well, maybe they're not as smart. Actually, they're extremely smart. And there's a lot that can be done with them. So I think, yes, there is a real need there. They are thirsty for it. They want to learn. So given an opportunity and given a structure for them, allows them to understand they've got this opportunity and a possibility. So you've given them also hope. And I think that the mothers and all the women there, I want to pick up on this a little bit, because I've also been working a little bit with someone who works in Bangladesh, and what they found was that by working with mothers, it changed the community and it sustained itself. So I just wonder if you wanted to talk, I know you talked a little bit about it, but even a little bit more. Like, what happens in a community when mothers get involved? And Nathan mentioned all these women who were working within this. I guess there's some challenges I have heard as well in terms of just the families getting used to adjusting to this. The fact that the mother may not be at home all the time, that they will be out and maybe working in the schools and working, period. Could you just talk a little bit about this and how you were able to overcome that?
Okay, I think this is a very important point. In any third world country, first I would like to, I'm very happy that you had the opportunity of going to Lahore and Islamabad, and you've seen for yourself what is the situation with these kids, and you have really pinpointed these children are very smart. Their only shortcoming is that they've been deprived of being given an opportunity. The moment that thirst, what you said about that thirst for education is so great that it's unimaginable. What we do is that we give them a flexi situation, that we don't, like you very correctly said, that they have to bring something on the table. They have to bring some money from their meager wages which they collect from whatever they are doing to the household, supplement the household income. However, what we do is that since we have got a beautiful structure, I wish I could have shown you some photographs. The building is like any public school anywhere in the world. So we've got a flexi situation where the children can either come in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on their work pattern, so that they can give a few hours to the.
Oh, that's
We've
interesting.
got a we've got a morning shift and we've got an afternoon shift in our schools where children have got their options to opt for either or. So this is one very important aspect of our education, and that's why we are so successful. And when we go there, we become a like a community, a lighthouse. It's a lighthouse within the community which provides them not education but guidance, counseling, and many other things. I'll come back to it. So now coming back to the mothers of the, we know this, we know this for a fact, that you teach a mother and she's going to change the whole family. She's going to change the mindset not only of the family but that nation. And this is exactly what we have seen in our approach, in our initiatives with the mothers. They are so supportive. I'm nothing taking away. I'm a man myself, but the fathers have been the most uh, deterring factor in our. Either they have left the woman with so many kids in that household, or they are too busy, doing whatever they're doing, and not the least interested in the future of those kids. But the mothers, the mums of those small villages are the angels, are the leaders. I salute to them, literally. Now, the beauty is that they take so much interest, even with all the shortcomings of financial shortcomings of their, they have to go out to earn a livelihood. But these women come to the parent teachers meetings, and even they are not educated or literate, but they want to ask the principal, how's my child doing up. Now, to top everything all, I'll tell you something very interesting. What Citizen Foundation has done has they have started an adult literacy program for the women of the slums and the villages. And today, more than 80,000 women of the mothers of these children who are studying in TCF have gone through this
Wow.
3 month, 90-day program where we are giving them a basic advanced literacy. Now, what happens is after this literacy of 90 days, this woman can read the headlines in a newspaper. She can write a small note. She can tell the children, you do your homework, I'm going to supervise you. And lastly, she does a simple mathematics. When she goes to the supermarket, she knows exactly what she's buying and how much money she should get back. But most of all, the respect in the household is unimaginable. After this advanced literacy program course, she is a totally different human. So
Yeah.
this is the respect we have for the women of our community.
Yeah, when we're back in Pakistan, I would love to see it. Because I know that in Islamabad, that's what we were trying to work on as well, is helping with the parents.
Yeah, well, the mothers, there is a
Yeah.
program there, and also a bursary program that we had with Spirit of Math to bring in the children from the very poorest communities and sit beside the children from some of the very wealthiest communities in the same classroom, and just to see it's not only for them to learn the mathematics, it was also for them to be able to say, yes, I'm at your equal. And oftentimes that's the huge deterrent, is that there is something in their mind that is telling them that they are not as equal, whether it's capability or whatever it is. And to see the shift in the kids was phenomenal, because at the very beginning they would sit beside each other, and the kids would, they would get their answers, and I would say, well, tell them. You got a different answer. And they wouldn't want to say anything to begin with. And then after a couple of months, I saw them going, well, you know what? You're wrong. I think I've got the right answer. And then you see the kids, doing this. And I remember coming back after a year of this one child coming through, very shy when he started. And he stood up in front of that class and he was doing a demonstration and he was saying, and you answer this, please. Just that transformation, you talk about that confidence.
The confidence.
And for the mothers to have that confidence and for the kids to see the mothers have that confidence. And now all of a sudden the world has changed for them. They understand how to live in this world very differently. And that's what I think is critical. What you are talking about is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yes. So I want to just very quickly talk a little bit about your past and who you were as a young boy growing up, because kids like to hear this. And were you any different, or did you? What were you like? Were you shy? Did you demand things yourself when you were young? What were you like when you were a child?
Yes, I would say I, as a schoolboy, I was extremely shy. I was extremely scared. I could not take part in any school activities. I used to freeze on the stage. I remember in many time in elocution when I was participating in a elocution contest, and I was put on stage and I just froze. I couldn't say anything, and I laugh at myself at sometimes that now this has become a second sort of a habit of mine that I speak. People say that you talk too much, and I all the time I have to make these presentations, and I have to make this, and I'm surprised at myself, that this now has come naturally to me. But as a boy, I was petrified. I was absolutely so. For all those shy and petty the boys or girls who are not confident, there is a lot of scope in life. Don't put yourself down. You have a great future. So this is the first thing I have to say. I had a good, a very good schooling. I went to a missionary school in Karachi. I was born and brought up in Karachi, and I lived here. This city is my city, and the thing I would like to mention here, Kim, is that why and how this whole my character was molded. A lot of times people ask me that there must be somebody who's been your role model. You pick up somebody, you read about somebody, and you're impressed by the work that somebody has done. And I keep telling everybody, and this is the honest fact, that I feel that my role model is my father, because I have seen him. Of course, he's dead now, but I have seen him in my early days helping people. I've seen him, we have the family sitting over a dinner table, and somebody comes on the doorstep wanting some sort of a problem to be solved, and he would leave his food and go with that lady to get that problem solved. So that has created such a strong sort of situation in my mind, in my heart, that look here, there is more in life than yourself, your family, your business, your profession. There is that the Lord didn't send you here to just do what you need to do for yourself. There is more in life. You have to do something for others, a lot for others. And that has what has been in me, I think, all throughout my life. I've seen that. And I'm following that pattern of my father. And that I find so gratifying and so helpful, that I do not deter in going out. There has been a lot of times in Pakistan, since you've traveled here, there have been times when a lot of security issues have been there. People don't pick up their telephones, and they don't pick up unknown numbers. but I always try to hear people out. And many a time been told, that you could be in danger. I said, that is part of my life. If I'm
Hmm.
in danger, but if I'm helping somebody and I'm creating, because it is needed, in this country, there's so much of problems and so many issues that you need to. So I would say that I'm very happy. I'm a businessman. Yes, I've got a very comfortable, but I today devote 95% of my time to what I like doing, and that is helping others in health, education, in any sort of assistance I can, if I have the power to help.
Uh,
So,
what you've said is really quite profound. You've really said that you started as a very shy boy, and through your life, you ended up having to speak a lot on stage. It seems that the transformation from thinking of yourself and worrying about yourself to worrying about others has really, you probably were like that all the time, but as you grow older, of course, we become more aware of it. And that I would say is a huge part, and the character. And you brought, and it was what you learned from your father was the character from your father. I have one last question because I know that we've taken a lot of your time, and time you need to get going soon. Time goes by quickly, but I'm just wondering, with that in mind, could you just say something to the audience here, and thinking in particular about youth and children, about what one thing would you say to them will help them release their genius in themselves?
sorry, Kim, I didn't get the last
Okay,
one thing you said.
one thing that would help youth and children release the genius in themselves. What can they focus on to release their own genius?
Okay. Um, I think uh, the biggest genius in every individual is to believe in oneself. Like initially when I mentioned in my first answer to the first question, is to believe with a clear intent. You see, when I believe that what I am doing is for the benefit of the society, of the benefit of the humanity, then everything else is secondary. I'm not doing this to gain fame. I'm not doing this to propagate a family. I'm doing this because I think this is right. I think that I'm doing this to change. You know, today I'll just give you a very small. This is very important. Today I went to in the morning. I went to a business school, which is the best business school in Pakistan. It was set up by the from the World Bank in Karachi, and it is probably almost impossible to get into this business school, to get an admission into this. So now what happened was that 6 or 7 years ago, the first Citizen Foundation child, boy, got into this business school
Oh,
Wow.
under the National Talent Hunt program.
wow.
And today I met the dean and director who is a PhD in economy. He's an economist, and he used to teach at the University of Columbia
Oh,
in New
wow.
York, and he's now taken over as the dean and director. And I was sitting with him, and there were 13 children, 13 TCF girls and boys who have got into this prestigious business.
My goodness.
So my that you can't imagine the happiness or the thrill. This is my thrill. This is my the product which is coming out from my hard work. That I feel that seed which was sown 25 years ago is now into a full blown tree and giving fruits. So my advice to every individual, that there is a genius in every individual. It may be latent, it may be dormant, but you have to bring that I brought it out. I was fortunate to bring my shyness out. I think every individual can do. You can be a great human. You can be a great person. You can do great things in life. You don't have to be a Bill Gates, or you don't have to be a you within yourself. You are a human. You will be great. If you do good things.
Wow, thank you. Your passion is infectious, and it's your belief in humans is so incredible. Thank you so much. Nathan, did you want to?
I was a shy kid as well as a child, and I remember practicing speeches. And when I would go in front of the entire class or on the stage, I would actually black out, and I would give my speech, and then I would wake up essentially at the end, and then see everyone start clapping. And so that was how I got through it. Honestly, I was so shy, and then believe it or not, even though I'm not talking much during this podcast, I actually, myself, I talk too much sometimes.
That's exactly what I've been saying. So that you can but I want to give a small message. Pakistan is a beautiful country. Pakistan has a beautiful, hospitable. It's an hospitable nation. Please, of course, there are negativities all over the world, but the majority of the people are good. Majority of people want to do good. So believe me, you've been there, Kim, and I hope
Nathan has been
also
there.
Yeah, I've been there maybe 10 or 12 times.
You can spread this word that there are humans, there are people like me all over the place. There is a small group of people who are, not, but generally the people are very nice. They want to do good. They want to help people. They want to be. So I would just like to pass this message that we want to invite as many people to come and see the good work. And there are many TCF. There are many things happening in Pakistan, which now you can be proud of. So with this, I thank you for inviting me on this. It was nice talking to you and your audience, and I hope that it went off well.
It's
Thank you,
wonderful.
Mr. Chhapra.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I would repeat what you said. Pakistan is an incredible country, incredible people. We've been there at least 10 times, and I encourage other people to get out. And you've just got an example of an incredible person, and there's so much more to that country. And the focus of the people is about people, and that's what's really incredible.
Absolutely.
So thank you everybody and thank you everybody for this for listening today.
Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll put the links in our bio as well to TCF, so they know how they can get involved from around the world. We have a large Pakistani community in Canada, but also non-Pakistanis can get involved just like we have, because we know that education is very important. And this is something as well that we believe in, is that education is the way
it's a foundation.
To solve a lot of problems around the world.
Yes. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chhapra, for all your hard work.
Okay, and thank you everyone
Thank you,
for
Nathan.
listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.